Hey, what's going on? So it's been a few days since we posted anything. The head's been at the head shop, so we got them resurfaced, got the broken bolts removed, got them all cleaned up. So they're in the back of my truck. We were gonna try and work on it some yesterday, but I forgot. I still need to clean up the engine block, get all the old head gasket off. So I seen this trick on the internet to use some oven cleaner and a toothbrush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of that on there and let it sit for a couple hours, and then come back and try and clean it up and see how that goes. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna have to buy an electric die grinder to use this bit that I bought to try and clean them up. But hopefully this will work. It shows that it just scrapes right off after that, so we'll see. So we'll come back a couple hours and let you know how it went. All right, so we're back. Had a bunch of errands to run, but I ended up getting the head engine cleaned up. You see that? There we go. So we got them all cleaned up, ready for the heads to go on. We're gonna vacuum out the cylinders, get the dust and crap out. Then we'll pop them on and we'll probably come back. And Gavin's with me now. He just got picked up from school. I got lucky and had the Blue Angels fly right over top of me on the way to go pick him up. It's pretty cool. We live right by the naval base, so we get a free air show. So, all right, we'll come back when we get it all cleaned up. All right. So we got the one head reinstalled. I went ahead and used the old head bolts. According to all the old timers on all the forums, they said that it's good to go ahead and use those, and then just to make sure and soak them in oil before you put them in. We followed the proper torque procedure, went through and torqued them 3 times, starting at 50 pounds, went up to 70, and then up to 95 for the final torque. So that's where we're at. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna clean this side up, and then we'll get that one put on.
All right, what's up, YouTube? So we're back, and we got on the other head. We did the same process, went on just as easy as the other one. Now that we got that on, we grabbed the intake manifold over here, and we started cleaning it up, getting that cleaned off, and then we're gonna get all that cleaned off. But my dad brought something up that when this bolt tries to go in here, sorry, it's hard to do it with one hand, but you get the gist. When you put the bolt in there, it's a little loose, and so my dad
It won't go through all the way.
Yeah.
See how it won't go through? Which means that old bolt was probably broken off inside of there already and not holding down.
Which means that our whole problem could have just been from the intake manifold, and we could have possibly did the heads and the head gaskets for no reason. So,
But better safe than sorry.
that's true. No hurt in renewing it, basically, even if it wasn't broken. And if it was broken, it's not broken anymore. And yeah. Here's the valve covers that we did. They look pretty nice. And so we're gonna keep cleaning up.
Do we have the white spray paint down here?
Or
is it upstairs?
No, it's upstairs. Why, you want me to go get it?
Yeah, we'll have you go get it. We're gonna paint the Ford emblems on the valve covers white.
Alright. So I'm gonna go get the white spray paint, and then I don't know if you heard, we're gonna paint the Ford emblems white, and that should give it a little bit of extra detail, a little extra pop, and it should look really nice with the white truck. So I'll be right back.
All right, good morning.
Alright, good morning. So we're back. Last night we cleaned up the intake manifold a little bit more. We got up this morning, we cleaned it up even more, and then we got the gaskets out, and we're about to put the intake manifold on and then put the gaskets on the intake manifold.
All right, so we're gonna go get to it and then we'll come back when we got it on. All right, so we got the rocker studs and push rods in. Got the intake put on. We have a bolt, you can see right here. It's a little bit longer than the rest of them. It goes in here. So we're gonna go to the hardware store and grab one of those so we can get the intake manifold torqued down. You can see the rocker arms are on. We went to go put on the push rod or the headers, and the studs that they gave us are too small. So now we got to get those too. So we're making a run to the hardware store to get some more hardware. Kind of sucks, but we got to run by the bank anyway. Bet you'll never guess why though. Gavin, why don't you tell them what's going on?
We're about at 3 o'clock. We're gonna go over. We found a truck on Marketplace. It's another 1996 LBS Ford with the 351 in it, and so we're gonna go take a look at it.
Exact same truck, just a little lower miles. No, it doesn't have power windows or locks, and it's got bench seats instead of the captain's chairs or buckets, whatever you want to call them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll come back once we get the hardware and get this all set up, and then we'll probably make a special video for going and getting the truck. So all right, we'll be back in a little bit.
All right, so we're back from the hardware store. We went ahead and put on the exhaust heads and
Exhaust manifold,
sorry.
short tube headers.
Exhaust manifold, short tube headers, and
They're
then
the same thing.
okay. Well, we did that, and then we went ahead and got the valve cover gaskets on.
What else? We tightened down the intake manifold.
Tightened down the intake manifold, and then after we tightened down the intake manifold, we put a little bit of oil on the rocker arms, and then we put on the valve cover gasket, and now we're putting on the valve covers, and we're about to torque those bolts down, and so we'll jump back once those are fully installed. All right, so we're back. We got the spark plugs in. We got the what's it called? The fuel plugs.
Spark plugs in.
The spark plugs in. What are the
injectors?
Yeah, the injectors. We got the fuel rail on the engine harness, and then we got the cover on for that. And so we're getting really close. We're trying to find a wrench for the spark plug socket right now. But yeah, we're getting really close. And we'll jump back once we're further along.
All right, so we're getting close. We got it put back together for the most part. As you can see, we still got like a line to hook up, and then we got to hook up the power steering and the air conditioning. But we ran out of time because now we are gonna go look at that other truck. So we're gonna go do that. We'll probably have to finish this up tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna come back and work on it tonight. I'm getting pretty tired and my back's sore. So we'll come back tomorrow, and hopefully next time you see us, we'll be in the process of getting it running. All right. So what's up, G?
So we just took what we got here. We looked at it, looks good, and then we just took it for a test drive, and it drove really nice. So we're gonna buy it. So we're back here at the house. It's the next day in the morning. We're getting everything back together. Yesterday we decided not to get the truck. As he was getting titled, we did like a final walk around. We found some rust on the door. My dad said this
Here, let me show you where it was.
the spot was pretty soft.
So it was right here, and you could like push in on it. And I told the guy that was a deal breaker for me because I don't want to deal with no cab rust. If it was on the bed, maybe I would have dealt with it, but.
So we came home, we got some pizza, and then we went to sleep. Woke up real early, and here we are. We're gonna have to run to the store and get some bolts for the EGR.
Grab the EGR block off, let's show them. So I went to EGR Performance, grabbed that block off. That'll block off the EGR. I don't know if you can see it down there. There's a little nub sticking off that exhaust manifold that we'll have to plug. That's where the old EGR would have go. And then, so we got all this from EGR Performance. We got the emulator, so it shouldn't throw a check engine light with the EGR unplugged. And then we got it for the block off, the emulator, and the short tube heads. The whole deal cost us like $200, I think. So the headers, I don't know, fitments so. We haven't hooked up the down pipes to them yet because I gotta cut off a bolt, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm a little worried on the fitment, just the way the headers fit. And so we'll see. We'll go from there. We'll see. They do look pretty sweet though. The hardware they sent was all wrong, so we had to buy stuff. I couldn't use washers, which really disappoints me, but if we would have tried to put washers on there, it would have hit the headers and not seated right. So we're gonna give it a shot. We'll probably head to the hardware store to get the bolts for that EGR block off, and then we'll be back in a little bit. And then we'll give you an update. All right. Oh yeah, we got all the accessory drive on. We just gotta put the upper radiator hose on and then the belts. So we're gonna get that done and head to the hardware store. I think we gotta go by Walmart and grab some coolant too.
And then check the transmission fluid.
And check transmission fluid. So we'll get back to you when we get back from the hardware store. All right, G, where we at?
All right, so we're almost done. All we gotta do is put these hoses back on, and I think that's it, right?
The intake hoses.
Yeah, the intake hoses, and I think that's it.
We gotta fill it with coolant.
Fill the coolant and check the transmission fluid.
So we got the exhaust put on. I had to cut one of the flange bolts on the other side, which was a pain. But I managed to drop it down a little bit and get the grinder on. You see where that one down there? Had to cut that one off. I think we need to tie up the spark plug wires. Just get them off that header there, but we're pretty dang close. It's all hooked up, all accessories on, so we'll get this air intake hoses on and get it filled with coolant, and then hopefully the next video you're watching is it firing up. All right, so we're back. We got it all together. Started filling it with coolant, and the thermostat housing was leaking. So we put a new gasket on, but as you can see, that's pretty chunked up. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but I sent Gavin, he's on his way to go get a new one and a couple of hose clamps too, and then we'll throw that on. Hopefully it won't leak and we can get it fired up. But just want to do a quick update, and we'll come back hopefully when it's running this time. All right, so I was messing around with this. I think it might have been my fault with the leak. Apparently the thermostat has an actual orientation in the thermostat housing. So if you look, and you got this little gold button down there, and then you look right at the bottom, you can see it's kind of dimpled out, and it's got to go in there like that. Otherwise, if you put it in a different way, it doesn't quite sit in there. And I suspect what would happen when I tighten that down, it was sticking out and causing it to leak. So had I put it in like that, I think we would have been all right. But Gavin's gonna go get a brand new fancy chrome one and some new hose clamps. So I guess whatever, we'll just throw it on, and it'll look cool, and it'll hopefully not leak. That's the biggest thing. So we'll come back again when he's once he gets back and we get that on and try that out, and then we'll come back. All right, G, so what's the story?
So we got it started, but black and white smoke comes out of it in quite a lot of quantity. So we think we need new fuel injectors. That's like the main culprit we're thinking right now, because it's running really rich. So we bought some Amazon fuel injectors that were hit or miss, and I think we missed.
Yeah, the reviews on them. So some guys were like, oh, they work great. And then other guys are like, no, they're trash. I sent them back. The issue that we're having right now, and I think what's causing the smoke, is it's running super rich. Like, you can smell the smoke.
Gives you a headache just sitting in it.
Yeah, and it smells like gasoline. It doesn't smell like burnt oil. It doesn't smell like coolant. It smells like there's gas just coming out of the exhaust pipes. So I'm gonna look into that. I'll probably order some new injectors. It's gonna be a bummer because I gotta pull the intake manifold off again, but it is what it is. Needless to say, we got the thermostat housing on and working now. I think the first time was my bonehead mistake. So yeah, that's it for now. I might work on a little bit next week. It's Gavin's birthday next weekend, so he's going to be in Tampa with his family. So that's it for this week. And hopefully next week we have better news.
Sure.
All right.